Good morning. Today we are looking at packet number 3 for Pre Algebra. Our first page, we are looking at equivalent fractions. We look at 3/6 to 9/18. We can see if we multiplied it by 3, 6 times 3 is 18, 3 times 3 is 9. So we need to decide using these digits 2, 4, 5, and 7, how can we make two-digit numbers that would be equivalent to 3/6 and 9/18. What could we multiply by to get a fraction that is equivalent? So you're looking for an equivalent fraction. Let's look at our next page. There we go. Henry used 1/2 of his flour to make blueberry muffins and 1/2 of the remaining flour to make tofu muffins. He has 1½ cups of flour left. How much flour did he start with? Some of us, our mind is going to automatically go to what mathematical equation we need to do. My mind goes to my picture. I like to make my bar graph. He has this much flour, and our question is how much did he start with? So we know that he used 1/2 of it to make the blueberry muffins, and he used 1/2 of what was left over for the tofu muffins, and then what was remaining was 1½ cups. These are all equal segments. So 1 unit here is 1½ cups. We know how much that unit would be, and then we could break this half into halves, and we know how much each of those halves would be, and we could add them all up or just multiply that 1 and 1/2 by 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So when you're not sure what math equation to use with those word problems, check to see if you could do a bar model. Make your picture, put the information in that you know, and try to figure out what is remaining. Our next page. Five-card challenge, we know how to do that. Make sure it equals 5. If you notice, we do have a 2 as a number, so that 2 you can use to square numbers or to find a square root. You can only do a square root or square a number if you have a 2 to use for the exponent or for the square root. The ace, there's only one diamond showing, so it is worth 1. It's worth the number 1, the digit 1. So the ace, when we play cards, sometimes we know it could be at the high end above the king, but in the 5-card challenge, it stands for a 1. Oh, goodness. All right, let's look at our next page. This one is continuing the table. So we're going to fill in what we have for each color and see if we can find the patterns to move on. So in figure 1, there is 1 red, 0 blues, 0 purples, so there's 1 total block. Then we have 1 red, 3 blues, 0 purple, 4 blacks. Then we have 1 red, 3 blues, 5 purples for a total of 9 blacks. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reds, still the 3 blues, 5 purples, and now we have a total of 16 blacks. I don't know about you, but I'm looking into the total blocks column and I'm seeing my favorite numbers, 1, 4, 9, 16. Can you guess what the future total blocks are going to be? Look at that pattern. I see my beautiful perfect squares. So I would continue that pattern going on. So if this is 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, keep that pattern going. Over here, I see the same number repeats 3 times. So I'm going to look and say, okay, 1, 1, 1, so that's going to give me an 8, 8, 8, 3, 3, 3. Oh, I need to figure out what my blue is going to be. 0, 0, and then I have 5, 5, 5. So I can fill those numbers in right away. So I can look at this and say, well, if my total block is 25, and I know I have 5 purple and 8 red, so that's 8 plus 5 is 13. Subtract that from my 25. I know I'm going to have a 12 there. So now I can fill that 12 in. I can continue with my total blocks and fill in the missing numbers. So you can continue on that way. If you really want to challenge yourself, see if you can find what the pattern is for the red, the blue, and the purple to see if you could continue that on. But that is an easy way to solve it with the information we know, because we definitely know our total blocks pattern is those perfect, beautiful squares. All right, let's look at our next page. Triangular prism. First, you must draw a net. So drawing a net, that is opening up that triangular prism. I see each face is one big long rectangle. So I'm going to draw my 3 rectangles. And then I know each end is a triangle. Now I also have to label each side with their measurements. So I know the length of each of those rectangles is 14. I know where the rectangle meets that triangle there is 5. And I know each side of the triangle is 5. And I also know my height of the triangle is 4.3. So now I need to remember how to find the area of each of these shapes. My area of a rectangle is length times width. So I didn't finish off my area here. So this is a 5, this is going to be a 5, that's going to be a 5. So our sides will match up the same length. So we have 14 and 5. I'm going to find the answer to that and put that in for my area for each rectangle. My area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. My base is 5, so that would be 1/2 of 5 times my height of 4.3. That answer is going to be the area for each of my triangles. I add up all of my areas to get my surface area. Next page. The area of a triangular prism. So if my area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, for a triangular prism, I'm adding on the length. So 1/2 base times height times length. So now I need to put in the calculation. So that's what I'm putting in my numbers. 1/2 times the base of 5 times the height of 4.3 times the length of 14. I'm going to do that math and put the answer it equals. So that answer that it equals goes right there. So 1/2 times 5 times 4.3 times 14. I'm going to put that answer here. It is 3 different inches I'm multiplying, so my answer will be inches cubed. Now it says, what is the surface area of the figure? That's what I'm going to put down here. We already figured that out on the last page. So you can put that answer in right there. Remember, surface area is just area, so it's going to be inches squared. So because it was the 2 inches that we multiplied together. All right, next page. Find the perimeter and area of the figures. Make sure you're finding the lengths of the sides that are not measured. Add up all of your sides for the perimeter. For the area, I broke it into shapes that I know how to find the area of. The shape of a rectangle, area of a rectangle is the length times the width. So I added all three of my rectangles I broke it into to find the area of the full shape. Next page. Pascal's triangle. We worked on this on the last packet. So they have triangular numbers like 3 and 6. We have our set of triangular numbers that we can find in Pascal's triangle. So we're looking for 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36, 45, 55, 66, 78, 91, 105, and 120. We're going to see where the pattern is with those. So I'm not just going to circle in every single one. We want to look for a pattern. So I'm going to look to see where I see a 1, followed by a 3, followed by a 6, followed by the 10, the 21, the 28. There are 2 patterns that you are going to color in. I started you off on one of them. See if you can follow those numbers in a row or in a line. So see if you can find where the 2 lines are for those and shade them in with your pencil. Then it says add each pair of consecutive triangular numbers. So we have 1, we have the 1 plus the 3 equals 4. Then we have 3 plus the 6 equals 9. Then we have 6 plus 10 equals 16. Oh, look at those beautiful answers we are getting for our equations. My favorite numbers. So you're going to write out all of those equations for these numbers up top. 1 plus 3, 3 plus 6, 6 plus 10, 10 plus 15, 15 plus 21, 21 plus 28, 28 plus 36. Do that for all those. I should see them written out. Then it says the sums are called square numbers. Why? Why do we call them square numbers? So write your answer for that. Next page is the polynomials. Find how they fit into that big shape. And then we have your data. Is Channel 1 News a popular program? So Channel 1 News can be viewed at 1 p.m., 6 p.m., 9:30 p.m., 11 p.m. Use specific data to support your answer. So what can we tell if these millions of people are watching these news programs? How would you answer, is Channel 1 News a popular program? So use this data to answer the question, is it popular or not? And that is it for our math packet number 3. If you continue to have questions, come and see me. Have a wonderful day.